YouTube salute Robert Mugabe, the Zimbabwe independence icon turned authoritarian leader, has died aged 95. Mr. Mugabe has been receiving treatment in a hospital since April. He was ousted in a military coup in 2017 after 37 years in power. The former president was praised for broadening access to health and education for the black majority, but later years were marked by violent repression of his political opponents and Zimbabwe's economic ruin. His successor, Emerson Mnangagwa, expressed his utmost sadness, calling Mr. Mugabe an icon of liberation. Who was Robert Mugabe? He was born February 21st, 1924, in what was then Rhodesia, a British colony run by its white minority. After criticizing the government of Rhodesia in 1964, he was imprisoned for more than a decade without trial. In 1973, while still in prison, he was chosen as president of the Zimbabwe African National Union, of which he was a founding member. Once released, he headed to Mozambique, from where he directed guerrilla raids into Rhodesia, but he was also seen as a skilled negotiator. Political agreements to end the crisis resulted in the new independent Republic of Zimbabwe. With his high profile in the independence movement, Mr. Mugabe secured an overwhelming victory in the Republic's first election in 1980. But over his decades in power, international perception soared. Mr. Mugabe assumed the reputation of a strong man leader, all powerful, ruling by threats and violence, but with a strong base of support. An increasing number of critics label him a dictator. But in 2017, amid concerns that he was grooming his wife Grace as his successor, an army and his longtime ally turned against the president and forced him to step down. So, what are the people reactions so far? The Deputy Information Minister, Energy, Matuti of Mr. Mugabe's ZANU PF party told the BBC the party was very much saddened by his death. He's a man who believed himself. He's a man who believed in what he did, and he is a man who was very assertive in what he said. This was a good man. George Walden, one of the British negotiators at the Lancaster House Agreement in 1979, which ended white minority rule, said Mr. Mugabe was a true monster. The agreement turned out rather well and looked good for a while, but Mr. Mugabe later became a grossly corrupt, vicious dictator. Zimbabwe Senator David Coltrat, once labeled an enemy of the state by Mr. Mugabe, said his legacy had been marred by his adherence to violence as a political tool. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa called Mr. Mugabe a champion of Africa's cause against colonialism, who inspired our own struggle against apartheid. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta said Mr. Mugabe had played a major role in shaping the interests of the African continent and was a man of courage and who was never afraid to fight for what he believed, and even when it was not popular. Kenya will fly its olive flags at half mast this weekend in honor of Mr. Mugabe, he said. Wow. Like I said, this is deep. Rest in peace to Mr. Mugabe, a Pan African, a true revolutionary, that he stood for something that he believed in, regardless of people liked him or disliked him, it doesn't matter. He felt that he wanted to bring Africa back and end colonialism, end imperialism, and eradicate neocolonialism. Post your comments below. Hope smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you'd like to support and donate to my channel, I have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Streamlabs. Everything's in the description. Until next time, peace.